Humanitarian Relief Aid Foundation Gift of the Givers had a very busy year responding to various disaster-stricken communities in South Africa and across the world. From providing relief to displaced communities due to ravaging fires to providing medical supplies to victims of the Turkey earthquake. Let's now speak to the foundation founder, Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman, about some of the work that has been done during this year. Doc, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this morning. It's been quite an eventful year for Gift of the Givers. I mean, from distributing water tanks to some areas that are in need of water. And I think notably for myself was the motorist who was stranded on the N3 toll after that weekend of snow. What would you say were some of the memorable moments for you as the founder of Gift of the Givers?
Good morning, Katlego, and good morning to all your viewers. And before I forget, the best of the festive season, what's left of it, and a very great 2025 for all of us, our country, and for the world. There are many, many aspects. I mean, the most outstanding aspect of the disaster intervention have been my teams. We shut down towards the end of the year. We shut down in inverted commas. We never off work really, but they're at home. And immediately you get fires in Cape Town, 11 of them in 9 days. And my teams jump up and they're on site. Tornadoes in Limpopo and flood, storms in Limpopo, in Mpumalanga, challenges, crisis floods in KZN, water shortage in Eastern Cape, hunger in other parts of the country. The most memorable thing for me are my staff, the teams, and the way they respond, irrespective of their personal situation and the crisis around them. It's supposed to be family time. They've sacrificed the whole year, and yet during festive season, they move away from families to respond. So that has been the most memorable. In terms of the projects itself, of course, we've responded to close to 150 disasters locally in terms of fire, tornado, floods, and storms. Throughout the country, we responded to that many. Right now, as I mentioned earlier, we've done 11 fires in 9 days in Western Cape alone. So that has been, a big intervention. And what's heartbreaking is to see people at festive time lose everything, the time when they're supposed to celebrate. A day or two before Christmas, on Christmas Day, and the day after. And people are so lost, so emotional. What are they going to do about their house? What are they going to do about their food? What does the future hold? How are the kids going to go to school? These are the kind of challenges that we see. And as an aside, government really needs to sit together, national, provincial, and municipal, to see how we can find a better way of housing people. Shacks are going to be there all the time. You're not going to take that away. But we need a controlled manner in which the shacks are built, where they don't crouch and climb each other. So when one burns, the entire settlement doesn't burn. I've mentioned this many times before, but this is something government has to look into. Fortunately, the National Human Settlements Minister, the Deputy Minister, and even the Mayor of Cape Town were with us on site at the fires in Cape Town. That's the first thing. The second one is the water crisis in Eastern Cape. I mean, this is going on from 2019. We intervened in Makanda in February 2019. They said they want water for 3 to 4 days. When we walked in, we realized this is not a 3 to 4 day situation. This is a longer term situation. We're there since then, since 2019, we're still there. And there's water crisis all over Makanda, roughly there. Also in Western Southern Cape, coming to Knysna, parts of Adelaide, Fort Beaufort, McBride, and many other areas. Water crisis is huge. We're responding to that. Now, Joburg is in a serious water crisis. Parts of Mpumalanga, Ermelo, Carolina, all the dams have gone dry. And with the Lesotho Highland project under maintenance and now, delayed in terms of its maintenance, there are bigger water crises. So water is becoming a huge requirement to respond to in the country.
Of course. And I mean, a lot of your responses are not just in the country. I want us maybe to just touch on a few of your achievements. I mean, some of them highlighted as over 120,000 food parcels distributed in 7 countries, 6 billion rand in aid used in 47 countries, 8 water tankers working full-time in 3 countries, and this is just to name a few. You mentioned that having a remarkable team is just one of the things that brings in the magic in Gift of the Givers. What do you think it takes to have such a well-oiled machine operating in a way that it needs to be as impactful as it is?
It's a combination of factors. The founding principles are critical in terms of instruction that I got from a spiritual teacher, that people are put first and that love, kindness, compassion, and mercy are the hallmarks of what we do, and that the dignity of people are foremost, that you should never compromise the dignity of people. Ethics, transparency, honesty and integrity are all critical aspects of the organization. The founding principles are absolutely critical, based in faith, based in religion, and based in humanity. Of course, when I say based in religion, we don't judge anyone. Whoever wants to work with us, it doesn't matter to us whether they believe in some kind of a law or don't believe in any kind of religious law. As long as they have humanity in them and they have spirituality in them and they want to serve people unconditionally, they're most welcome. We don't make a judgment based on the religion, the color, the race, or the nationality of a person. And that kind of approach has built us people. People come to us. We don't look for them. People who have that kind of temperament and that type of personality, and we being desire to serve unconditionally, those are the kind of people that come to us. Whether it's our full-time staff, all our staff in all our countries have been involved are full-time, permanent. We don't have any volunteers. The only volunteers we have are the search and rescue, the medical teams, and the trauma counselors. And all of those have the qualities and characteristics that I just mentioned a couple of seconds ago. So that's the first aspect, the principles that you're based on. Secondly, ongoing training. The teams that we have, they have to know to gel with each other. An organization, a corporate company falls apart when there's bickering, when there's ego, when there's competition, negative competition with each other. That's not good for an organization. We have sessions on virtual and in person where the teams get together and they understand and they love and respect each other for locally. And for internationally, it's more critical. If you make a mistake and you've got internal issues, your whole team can be compromised and you can die because we go to very life-threatening situations. So that's critical. The component of the team, the in-house training, the respect and the values. Thirdly, is the networks. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the arrangements, but if you can't get to a place and you're not received well there, your entire program falls apart. So building relationships with governments, with key people in different parts of the world is critical. We have huge networks. And of course, resources. You can't say, okay, it's a disaster today. We're now going to start a collection campaign. When the money comes, we're going to respond. That's illogical. People, when there's a disaster, they want instant response. They need help right away. They're vulnerable. Their children are hungry. They need shelter. They need aid. They need medical care. So we build huge reserves. We can respond in seconds in terms of making an announcement. We don't wait for money. The money comes afterwards. We're 32 years in the business. We know exactly how to do and what to do. We've got logistics capability. We sort of inverted commas shut down. Although the buildings are closed, but the people are not closed. They're still on phone and ready to work. So those are the kinds of things that we do in preparation of something that's going to happen. We upgrade our medical equipment. Our teams meet regularly. We need to see what's outdated medical equipment, what supplies are required, what's short dated. It's all those kind of things that prepare us. We have regular contacts with embassies, with governments, but our different departments, DERCO, state, international relations, different the presidency, the ambassadors, different key people in the country, inside and outside, and we keep relations with each other. And of course, our offices all over the world are totally independent. They manage their own way. They know what they have to do. They keep our ethos and our principles. They report to us, but we allow them to act according to their own understanding of their own culture, their own people, and what's best for them, as long as they keep within our principles and we're in constant communication and even visit them on a regular basis.
Doc, we are running out of time, but I also just want to touch on such responsibilities that do come, a lot of accusations and criticism. And in October this year, your organization, as well as yourself, received a fair amount of this criticism with regards to the gift of the givers possibly funding terrorists. You were questioned on where do the international millions of dollars that you receive, where do they go annually, and why are the annual statements of your organization not published? What is your response to such criticism, especially in the work and the space that you do?
I don't have to respond to any of those things. The public stood up for us. That was a coordinated campaign, simply because I stood up, and called out the genocide that was taking place in Israel and Palestine, but what Israel was doing to the Palestinian people. The truth was revealed after 76 years, and I stood out strongly on a humanitarian basis. I lost the head of my office inside Gaza. My team members, the teams that work for me, have lost 180 family members, all murdered and killed by Israel. So I stood up. I don't keep quiet when genocide takes place. All those accusations they made had not a single stretch of proof in it, not a single bit of it. It was innuendos, things that came out just to try to create discord, take people away from us, take donors away from us. In fact, I thank them. That's the best thing they ever did for us. I appreciate it. I even asked them to do more because the public knew who we are. They stood up for us. And I said very clearly, if you have any proof, please take me on personally. Report me to the SAPS, to the Hawks, to the SIU, to the Reserve Bank, to the different banks, to state security, whoever you want, and let them charge me. Bring the proof you want to say we're involved in terrorism. Yes, I do terrorize people who stand up and support genocide. I will not leave them alone. About that, make no mistake. I will come for you. You will terrorize you and keep attacking you. You kill innocent people, you bomb doctors, you kill journalists, you kill babies, their heads are blown off. You expect me to keep quiet. I follow my religious law. It tells us to stand out against injustice, against oppression, and be with people who are hurt and in pain. So yes, I would stand out. And you can keep coming. You tried so many times and it failed miserably because the people in South Africa know who we are.
Dr.
We work
Sooliman.
across race, culture, religion.
Sorry for cutting you there. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, but thank you for that and for that response and just showing how you're able to stand up not only for your organization, but for the greater good of the world. Thank you for your time in this feel-good story this morning. That was Gift of the Givers founder, Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman.